Huh. Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, Lisa Obrecht is back. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really care, but I know some people do. I know some people actually do. Um, Maybe it'll be good, you know? Maybe they'll surprise me and it'll actually be good. But you know how I feel about just having so many damn characters on this show. But anyway, with that being said, you know how I feel about just having so many damn. Let's sit there and do roll call. Get this started. Amy H is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tommy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Crystal is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Danny Bear 87 is in the chat. How you doing tonight? LaShanta is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Let's everyone say what's up to Danny Bear 87. She is also a YouTuber. So if you're not subscribed to her channel, subscribe to her channel. Let me highlight it to make sure people know what I'm talking about. There you go. Yeah, subscribe to this woman's channel. She is talented and she is amazing. Why the she is talented and she is amazing. Why the Oh, you just got off your live. Oh, okay, that's what's up. She is talented and she is amazing. Why the Oh, you just got off your live. Oh, okay, that's what's up. She is talented. She Whoa, okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Monique is in the chat. Monique says, first, the all times I've watched GH, never have I heard someone ask Jason what he. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes, Monique. Yes. I knew there was value in that scene. I was not there trying to find value in it, and you did. So that's pretty awesome. I checked it out tonight. Oh, you didn't get a chance to watch it? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Tommy, we gotta sit there and talk about Beyond the Gates too, because that was I'm not gonna lie, and I'm probably gonna have to sit there and repeat myself, but they're really that they're trying to sell us on this story that they couldn't go to the cops beforehand. They couldn't go to the cops because of the county that they were in, and they felt like that they weren't gonna be believed. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of some bullshit. It's like they are really that they're trying to sell us on the idea that two congressmen couldn't make an argument for self-defense because they were in another county, and who knows if they would have believed. Are you fucking kidding me? What's good, Big Nate? How are you doing today? I hope all is well. Hope you it's good to see you again. None of that shit made sense. None of it. None of it made sense. Um, I would have told the cops the truth. Well, yes, you could have told the cops the truth. And again, they're arguing that I would have did the exact same thing. It's not like they don't have money and the best lawyers that money could buy. So yeah, I don't really understand. Oh, you're talking about tomorrow's episode of The Young and the Restless. Now I didn't get a chance to watch that. Lily was just annoying today. Lily has been annoying all week. Lily is going to continue to be annoying, unfortunately. So that's something I'm not looking forward to. Victor and Nikki was just pointless in this episode. Just absolutely pointless in this episode. My goodness, they were pointless. LaShanta says Albert Lulu and everyone else business. She's getting her just deserved. Yeah, I mean, again, she is holding on to a whole grudge from years ago because her life is not in order, like Brooklyn is. Danny says, yeah, the whole Marty thing was stupid. Yes, it was hella stupid. It felt like it's it's a shitty way to bring a story about. It really is. And what's good, Sean? Chad still has feelings for Gwen. I don't see it, but okay. I'll take your word for that. I don't see it. Maybe you see something I don't. And what's good, other Sean? Damn, I'm not gonna sit there and that's gonna be interesting. We what's up, Sean? And what's up, other Sean? And you know the thing is that's really interesting. You spell it differently, but it's the same thing. So that's gonna be interesting. That's that's gonna be interesting. Remember that time that we had two Clarices in this chat and there was another Albert here? Fun times. And there was another Alyssa. Oh, you're Irish, okay. And there was another Alyssa in here. And both of them actually had like the same initials. Yeah, Lashanta, because again, she's still holding on to grudges. You know, Dante's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna let it go. And she's like, well, I can't do it. But yeah, you can't do it because, well, your emotion, well, you're bankrupt on a mature level, on a maturity level. What's good, Ronnie Ron? Very disappointed with Sophia. She really hates her mother. Okay, I don't see it as hate. I see it, well, if you say so, that I don't see it that way, but okay. That's right, Ron. Danny Bear's in the chat. Um, and Crystal, Cherry Ice Cream's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yes, Tommy. Yeah, yes, obviously they should have, because now Jesus Christ. Because now it's like, well, I'm definitely gonna get bit tonight. I hate the goddamn summer. What's Grace up to? Grace from who? Great. What's Grace up to? Who's Grace? Do you mean Gwen? This would have all been over if it just would have did a goddamn widespread, but fuck it. Oh, who's Grace? Oh, what's good, Queen of the South? How is the Queen doing tonight? It's good to see you, Queen of the South. What makes you think so, Sean? What makes you think that if Grace on Grace on Born and Beautiful. Oh, what's Grace up to? Oh, you mean that conversation that she had with that's a really good question. It makes me wonder why she kept Smith asking for the money from Bill, right? Because she asked more than one, and she know damn well that Bill is actually good for it. Of course, Queen, of course. Um, yeah, I have no idea. But whatever it is, it must involve some of that money though. And Danny, see, this is the reason why people was not invested into the Liam storyline because they knew at the 11th hour. But the only thing that's actually good, the one good thing that actually came out of this, well, Bill gets to shut those two, get to shut up Steffi and Hope and their constant nagging. That'll be nice. Sean says, "Are the Emmys tomorrow? Oh, that I have no idea. I have no idea. What the hell are you, Sean? You asked me a question, and I start to answer it, but and I don't see you. Oh, but why would he though? I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, the way that Gwen has been acting was good, Tracy Steves. They never seemed like they actually had a connection like that. They had a one night stand. And that was only because Abby kept up there being distant with her. So no, I don't really see it was good, Amber. It was good, Tracy Steves. I don't see them actually. It was good, Francis. I don't see them actually. I don't see them actually. What you call it? Tommy says Billy is ungrateful. Yes. Are you talking about tomorrow's episode? What's my thoughts on? You didn't watch my review? Um, Monique says, does Grace owe someone some money because she was on the phone saying I'm handling it? Exactly. Exactly. Also, again, she kept saying that they're asking for the money multiple times. I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, Ron, just to answer that question, my thoughts on it was I didn't I don't know. This episode, the episode wasn't super great, to be honest. That's something else. So like, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on that scene. I mean, it was just a scene with Sophia Smith finally standing up to her mother. But to be honest, it was like, Lord, it was good, Crystal Ramirez. What happened to? I mean, okay. Sean said, "Did you like Joss today?" Um, I didn't hate her. She was okay. I didn't understand the pool scene. I think that was my whole thing. I really did not understand that pool scene, Sean. Like I had no idea what was going on with that pool scene. And I understood the woman coming to pick up the package from Dark. I didn't understand why Jocelyn kept using Danny to distract the woman. And then she got upset like what was she supposed to do? Grab the book bag? Like I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Danny says Leo getting picked for jury duty was hilarious. Yeah, I never really understand Leo. Um, Ron, I'll just sit there and say that like her story is just becoming so unbelievable. Like, her just going to Chicago and meeting the birth parent. I mean, meeting the parents and stuff like that. What's good, Eagle? Meeting the birth parents. Like, it seems so fast, and she didn't even bother to sit there and get taped. So like, it seems very half-assed. Like that's what I would sit there and say in a sense, right? Just to answer that question. Other than that, I mean, it just was a scene, you know. I didn't really have any I didn't have any deep thoughts on it. Francis says 1 second, Eagle. Francis said, did they even do surgery on Liam while his Grace operating? No one monitoring. Yeah, no, they did surgery on Liam. They didn't really show it. Um, they didn't show it, but they did the surgery though. Yeah, no, they did the surgery. They just didn't show it. While was Grace operating? I mean, I guess the doctor needed the assist, right? The doctor needed the assist on it, so it makes sense. Okay, Ego says Sunny storming at Nina to explain herself. Like, bro, you treated Nina like trash in your last moment and voided her when she wanted to talk till she divorced you. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's absolutely true, Eagle. I mean, I understand why he. I still understand why he came at her, but yeah, I get that point of view as well. He says something else. Speaking of Obrecht, where is Scotty? Scotty needs his sleazy Obrecht back. Oh, his sizzle. We know damn well Scotty is not coming back. Let's be honest, bro. Come on, Eagle. We already know that. We already know that Scotty's not coming back. You know, it's like, I mean, I get it. I'm not simply trying to stop people from wishing upon a star, but Scotty is MIA. That actor is pretty much fired. Actually, tell you the truth, okay. So I saw on the Twitter post of him, pretty much that they're saying that like he was done with the show. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Francis. Francis says Ken Schreiner said he's not coming back. Yeah, he ain't coming back. Now, it wasn't his choice not to come back, but like the way that they just gave him the boot like that, he ain't coming back. He is not coming back. So let's let's just get that wish out of people's heads now. He is not coming back. Um, Tommy says Billy needs to be more grateful. Yeah. Tommy, I mean, yeah, that's true. He does. He doesn't need to. Yeah, he definitely was being an a-hole to Jack. Glad somebody does. I mean, I don't hate Scotty, if we're gonna be honest. Scotty is a character I can take or leave, you know. Um, okay, Eagle says Olbrich might be 60, 70 years old, but I still absolutely, Eagle. Let me tell you something, okay? Some of these more mature chicks could teach some young girls some things to tune. That's for damn sure. Eagle says I hate how they treated his character in the last days. I don't blame him. Yeah, exactly. Ryan says, I will choose Joy any day of this week. Stephanie and Alex is trash. All they do is play lovey dovey. Will you be happy? I mean, I don't really care personally. I don't, I mean, I mean, the way that they handled the Joy storyline towards the end I was disappointed, if we're going to be honest. Gorgeous Queen Janet, how are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Tommy says, how did you feel about Beyond the Gates? I thought that the story that they made was pretty shitty. It was really shitty. It's like, I know it's a soap opera, they're trying their best, but to be honest, like, bro, you're a U.S. Congress, you're a U.S. senator, and Martin's a congressman. Just because they may not have treated you well over there, bro, you have connections. And even he said that later on, like, yeah, I could have did this, I could have did that. I had the connection. Yes, you had the connections to sit there and pay this guy to get out of town, but you didn't have connections to sit there and fight the goddamn case. Come on, bro. Like, none of that shit makes any goddamn sense. Francis says the way Obrick was talking about missing Brit, don't think Kelly will play Brit. I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense. I mean, unless they're gonna sit there and cure her Huntington's disease, what's the point of bringing her back? What's the point of bringing her back? And eventually, she's just gonna sit there and die of that. Well, I mean, granted, yes, it can happen. at any point in time. But like when she was on, she was already talking about the tremors. Okay, she was already talking about the tremors in her hands and stuff like that. And she did start to get symptoms. So unfortunately, yeah, I think that's most likely the case. I'm dealing with one giant ass mosquito that I have to deal with before I go to bed tonight. And that's just annoying. Danny says Brick could be misdiagnosed. Oh, I love that fan theory. That's good. I like that. That's cute. Obviously, that could be the case. Um, they're gonna have to do something. Um, and here's the thing: they could do that. They could do that. I wonder how the fans would react. I mean, I wonder how the fans would, yeah, how the fans would react to that. Jenna says, "I'm not enjoying B&B with Liam." Yeah, because they pulled the goddamn Eric. They literally sat there and pulled the Eric at the 11th hour, and this is why people was just like, this whole him having a brain tumor or whatever was just so goddamn stupid because it wasn't gonna go anywhere. It wasn't gonna go anywhere. Ryan, I don't really care about Stephanie's book. I don't. I generally do not care about Stephanie's book. I don't care about Stephanie as a character. So there's that. That's generally how I feel about it. What's good, Black Man? How you doing tonight? Eagle says, "Who predicted that would happen the moment he got sick?" Pretty much the entire anyone that watched B&B, they pretty much predicted that. But that's what I'm saying. Though, like Janet's not enjoying that show because like they wrote such a trash ass storyline. I'm doing good, Black Man. I'm doing good. I actually had off. I was actually very happy. I had a good day. Yeah, I had a good day. Um, Monique says some say Chelsea was a fool to leave fashion to work with Adam and Sally, a fool to leave to work with Billy, but there's a difference. Chelsea worked for a company that was already successful, but where what? I mean, I agree with that to some extent. I mean, Billy has not been known. Okay, Billy's not known. Billy does not have a good reputation when it comes to his business, right? So for Sally, okay, when you think about it, for Sally to sit there and leave a job that she was secure in, that she was actually good in, to leave that job to work for Billy, who has a known track record of failing at damn near every company that he has ever tried to head up, is just stupid. And so, what does she sit there and do? She decides to get a contract written. So if he leaves, she can at least have something. But my whole thing is, girl, if you really felt like that, like it was just dumb in general. But to be honest, they haven't really been writing Sally the way that people liked her for years. Sean says Gwen is a better character than Stephanie. She should have been with Chad, not her. Gwen is a better character than Stephanie. She should not have been with Chad. She should have been with Chad, not her. But Stephanie's not with Chad though. Stephanie is you mean with Alex? Are you talking about with Alex? Danny says Billy sucks the life out of Sally. I mean, it's definitely not good for her job prospects. I don't know what person in their right mind is going to sit there and leave a company, leave a place that not only are you good at and you're thriving in, but to sit there and leave that company to work with a known failure. Listen, I like Billy, okay, and I think that's mostly has a lot to do with what's his name, Jason Thomas, and the way that he plays Billy Albert before they broke out. Oh, I haven't. Okay, well, Sean, if you're talking about like if there was a point that Stephanie used to be with Chad, that was Wait, what are you talking about before they broke up? I don't get it. Stephanie Johnson, if we're talking about Stephanie Johnson's, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, she wasn't on the show, so it doesn't really, yeah, I guess so. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. I forgot she was with him. Okay. All right, I see what you're talking about, Sean. No, I did not. Holy shit. Okay, I gotta sit there and check that out. I did not. So thank you, Eagle. LaShanta says, Albert, are you happy Obrecht's back? She's the one for Drew. Um, Not really. I'm not. Obrecht coming back doesn't excite me, if we're gonna be honest. She really doesn't. Her coming back, Kelly coming back, I doesn't do anything for me, to be honest. Yeah, it's funny, Eagle. When I first saw it, I saw it on HBO Max, and it was like, it was okay. Um, no, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. Thank you. Maybe I'll see it out in the movie theaters. I did plan on seeing the first one in the movie theaters before everything shut down. Oh yeah, I forgot I gotta do this dumb shit again. Then he says, I would like to apply to write for both. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how true that is. Ron is always Smith. They're talking about how Brad Bell has this thing where when he ta- when people ask him or they complain about Bold and Beautiful, he pretty much just kind of tells them, well, if they don't like it, they could watch something else. And on some level, I do kind of get it. I do kind of appreciate the clapback, but like, bro, the writing has not been good, and like maybe you kind of should sit there and start listening to them a little bit. Eagles fans, I'm going to see Naked Gun the movie a chance just because I'm a massive Liam Neeson fan. I think he is in my top five all greatest actors. I think he can pull it off playing Frank. I do like Liam Neeson. Um, I think his comedy could actually be gold just because he does have a good dry sense of humor, and I can appreciate that. I mean, I personally would probably wait for it to come out on a streaming service because I generally don't go and see comedy. I generally don't go to the movies to sit there and see comedies. So I would personally wait for it to come out on streaming. But yeah, I mean, when it comes out, I'll watch it. I mean, I have about like 6 or 7 streaming services, so it got to come out on one. like, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, even with Born to Be for today, even the Sheila and Deacon stuff was just pointless. Hell, actually, tell you the truth, this whole episode was damn near pointless. Um, they didn't, Liam is cured. Finn and Steffi and Holt was like, where are they? Where are they? He filmed a few scenes absolutely. Sean said he filmed a few scenes in Absolution near my house. Okay, that's what's up. Monique said she signed. Okay, hold on. Monique said she signed a piece of paper. There was no legal contract, no lawyers present. He has no LLC or nothing. Yeah, I guess he's just gonna have to sit there and honor it. I think he would honor it though. I think he would. I think he would honestly honor it. I could think of worse, Sean. I could think of worse of that. Worse than that. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't. It wasn't the worst. Oh, Boston. Okay, that's what's up. Um, There's been worse. There's been worse. But this is why I always sit there and talk. Maybe I need to sit there and start championing and telling people to watch Hollyoaks because clearly, Born the Beautiful. I mean, I still think that. The sad thing is that Hollyoaks is a soap opera, right? Who's Good Spider? Hollyoaks is a soap opera, but Hollyoaks is a British soap opera, and I really do feel like people would rather watch The Bold and the Beautiful because it's probably a little bit easier to get it into or easier to watch than Hollyoaks, even though Hollyoaks is actually 20 minutes long, and they don't sit there and repeat the same goddamn things over and over again. Spy Quick says, I can't wait to see the beautiful, sexy Brit, at least hoping is Brit. I'm just sad we're probably going to see her Friday and got to wait till Monday to see if it's Brit. And that's exactly, and that's to sit there and say if it is Brit. Now, it's funny, Spider. Monique had a comment about, I mean, no, Danny had a comment about maybe they misdiagnosed her or some dumb shit like that, you know, that they would do. And I believe they would sit there and do something like that. I really do. I really 100% believe that they would. Sure. But yes, Monique is 100% correct. There was nobody there to sit there and witness that. You just wrote it on a piece of paper. And honestly, tell you the truth, he wrote it on a piece of paper to sit there and appease her, and it fucking worked. This is how far that the Sally Spectre character has gotten. Danny says Bo is redoing three stories they've done in the last 3 or 4 years. See, and it's when you know what? Fuck it. I guess I'm gonna have to sit there and just make I guess I'm gonna have to sit there and start reviewing Hollyoaks. Because I feel like that's the only way I'm gonna be able to get people to watch Hollyoaks and start watching Bo. And that's what I'm gonna have to do. Well, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me. Tommy says Danny still wants Bill. I'm surprised. I mean, listen, I guess on some level, thank you, Blackmon. Blackmon has been a member for 30 months. Thank you, Blackmon. Seriously. Shout out to the awesome, amazing Blackmon. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And listen, the membership live streams have actually been pretty damn fun, which is why I encourage people to join. Like seriously. Um, so thank you, Black Mind. Spider says my thing is I really don't think she's returning as Brit, and if she does return as Brit, she has memory loss. Like Sunny, the only hope I have is Brit looks nervous, making me think she's Brit. Yeah, and then they're gonna have to sit there and explain the whole, you know, fuck, the whole Huntington's disease too. So that's gonna be another thing now, Spider, when you really think about it. But no, thank you, Black Mon. Ryan said that's why I wasn't into this Liam supposedly dying waste of viewers' time. Very disappointing. Just rinse and repeat. Same as that. Yes. Yeah, yes. Yes, I understand that. Lashanta says Albert at least Spencer wouldn't have betrayed Chena like Kai did. He didn't tell on Portia. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, to be fair, Lashanta, and listen, I'm not necessarily supporting what's good, Annette. Hello from the Gulf stormy coast. Anetta, what's good, Anetta? How you doing? I'm not supporting what Kai did, right? I think she will, Lashanta. I think she will. But just going back to the whole Kai thing. Kai didn't have all the information, right? So from Kai's perspective, is he sees somebody sitting there setting up what is essentially a mentor, somebody that has done nothing but kindness for him without really asking for anything. And so, like, I understand why he did what he did. Um, yeah, I didn't like the fact that he betrayed Trina's trust when he said that he wasn't going to say anything. He literally did that. But that decision was not easy for him to sit there and make. It was a hard decision, you know. It's a quote from Thanos before I sit there and switch my Ron, sure, nobody wants a Sheila being pregnant storyline. Like, we're really going back to that? Um, Nobody wants that. The hardest choices require the strongest of wills. I don't think that he set out to try to hurt Trina, but I think that he didn't want, you know, um, Curtis to do what he was going to do to Drew, knowing that he knew that information and kept it to himself after everything that Drew did for him. And knowing that, again, he didn't even do those things. So, I get why he did what he did. You know, wasn't an easy decision, obviously, but you know, I get it. You know, Ron, then I guess the ratings would drop even further. If Brad Bell decides to do that, then you know, the ratings would drop even further, and when they drop to a point where even oh, that's crazy, Black Man. What if the baby's born with 8 toes? I like that. Oh wow, actually I like Stephen. I actually like Stephen Colbert's. Wow, that sucks. I did think he was always funnier than what's the other guy's name when he was on that show? What's that Eagle? What's that guy's name? I always thought he was funnier than no no, not Letterman, but Stephen Colbert. I mean Stephen Colbert started on something else though. He started on another show. No. Fuck. No, not Leno. He was on Comedy Central. He was on Comedy Central. He was like, I don't know, maybe more like a guest host or something like that, or had his own segment. No, not Conan. You know who I'm talking about. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Jesus fucking Christ. Yes, with Jon Stewart. Thank you. I always thought he was funnier than Jon Stewart. It took, I mean, to be fair, it took me a hot minute to sit there and remember his name too. I was so disappointed because I'm just like, I have a point, and I know I have a point. I'm just like, I have a point that I know I have. Okay, good. So we're good on that switch. And Anita, I didn't even understand. Again, I didn't even understand. Well, to be honest, Anita, you want to sit there and tell me what she failed at as far as being Spy 101? Because I didn't even understand that. Oh, yeah, no, Craig. Yeah, I like Craig Ferguson. Okay, Sean, who's the in Eagle? Who's the guy that's on HBO? I think his name is Oliver something. He's also pretty funny. I don't exactly remember his name, but it's Oliver something though. God damn it, what is his name? I think so. I think so, and it's on HBO. Like if I had the time, I would still sit there and watch his. I would still watch his show if I had the time. It's so hard to sit there and get the time for this stuff. I swear. I'm gonna make time for Hollyoaks because if I gotta sit there and get you people off a ball and the beautiful, I'll do what I gotta do. I don't think so, Lashonda. I think he's gonna do it. I think Portia's gonna sit there and make it look like Michael is a druggie. I really do. Yeah, she is, Spider. She absolutely is. Okay, and he says we knew Josh would find another Sunny sneaking underhand. What? You want to be livid? No, Anita. I mean, Anita. This is just yeah. he Ron just has a very interesting theory that he wants on the show that other people would not sit there and Vaughn is a snake. Vaughn. Listen, I like Vaughn. I like Vaughn because Vaughn holds Jocelyn's feet to the fire, and I can respect that. Ron, ain't nobody want no nobody wants a baby story with Sheila. Okay, Sheila's like 70 something goddamn years old. Nobody wants to see that shit. Spike says, do you think JK should drop the story of Jocelyn? No, no, I don't. Because you know what I actually do like about it. Like, here's the thing: they're probably gonna sit there and drop it anyway because enough people are sitting there. To be honest, whining about it. But the reason why I actually do like this storyline is because this is the first time we've seen a WSB agent from the ground up, right? We heard about Anna being the great spy. We heard about Valentine being from the WSB or whatever. We heard about Jack and everything like that. This is the first time we get to actually see. What's good, Kaiwan? This is the first time we get to actually see Jocelyn be a spy from the ground up. So, like for me personally, I'm with it. And I know people can sit there and say, "Oh, well, she should be a doctor because that's what the show is about." Let me tell you something. General Hospital has hardly been about General Hospital in a long time. They took that mob route for like 10 something years. So, like, if people sit there saying that she should just go back to being a doctor, it's like, well, we already know what happened. If you say so, Spider, I disagree, but you know, maybe I just think that some people just don't like the story because it's Jocelyn, and Emma's too obvious. Emma's too goddamn obvious. Um, but I don't know. That's just like I said. That's just my opinion on it. But I know other people don't like it, so it is what it is. I'm just one of those people that personally do like it. Goddamn music. Where's my music? Let's get back to Lulu. Right? Like I said, Lulu has been on one. Oh, come on, Ronnie Ron. You know you like EJ. You know you like EJ, Ronnie Ron. The thing is with Lulu, and I'm gonna sit there and say this again. I don't know if I'm actually gonna drink all this, but the thing I would sit there and say about Lulu is that it's easier for Brooklyn to sit there and move on with her life and move on beyond this grudge because Lulu Brooklyn has a lot of things going for her life in a lot of ways, right? And she also has something to focus on. She can focus on trying to rebuild her relationship back with Gio. She has a husband. She has a job. Lulu don't have that. Lulu doesn't have Dante back, and the way she's been going about it, she's been screwing this whole um goddamn thing up with Dante. And Dante's not really ready to sit there and move on from Sam. So like she ain't really got a lot going for her. And I guess in a lot of ways it's easy for her to sit there and keep a hold of this grudge. And he says, when will Gilligan's Island end on YNR? Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that they're trying something different with it. Right? They got a new set and everything like that, and they're doing this game of Clue in a sense, right? The problem is that y'all have characters on for way too long that are just being way too annoying. That's the issue. Chance Chase is on my last nerves. Yeah, Chase be doing too much. Even with Tracy, he was being extra. He was being was good, Jonathan. He was being extra protective, like over the top. Like, bro, that's her grandmother. How about you relax for a hot minute? Then he says the stupid Adam should have sent help by now. If and that's assuming if they can get past Dumont's or Kane's men. Does Victor own a helicopter? He didn't bring one. Which okay, this is something else that I'm having issues with. Right? Why not? At the end of this whole thing, Lily's going to sit there and blame. Lily's going to sit there and blame. One second, sorry. Let me just get through this sentence. Lily's going to sit there and blame Kane. because in all reality, you knew that there was a killer. You knew that somebody's going to sit there and try to kill you. And what did you wind up doing? You didn't hire any security. I don't understand how they're all rich and nobody bothered to bring their own personal security. But like, you didn't hire any security or anything like that. You were just like, oh, I need you to sit. I'm gonna need a chance to sit there and try to stop who's trying to kill me. But you let somebody else. You let somebody else. I'm gonna get to you in 1 second, Lashanta. You let somebody else. Like somebody had to die, and it was totally avoidable if you knew somebody was coming after you. So like, it's just dumb for so many damn reasons. Let me get back to that in a second. Let me just answer you some. So Greg says, Albert, talking about Beyond the Gates, do you think they should bring another family? That to me is what's missing. They're only the Duprees. I don't know, like another family like how GH is with the Qs and the Corrento. Here's the thing. Jonathan says something very similar, right? Like they should bring in another family to be a rival, right? Like another rich family. But the problem with that is that it would be like GH. It would be just like GH. And so, in a sense, you're saying that's what's missing. But if that was the case, though, it would be just like it would be just like GH. Just like Jonathan was like, well, let's bring in another family to be a rival, like a business rival. Like, but yeah, but that's what Y&R does, you know. So I don't know. I see what you're saying, ideally, but I guess in a sense, it's like the fact that they haven't brought in another family is what makes them a little bit uniquely different from GH and YNR. Lashanta says, Albert, what did Laura tell Lulu about Sunny? She went to him anyway, and everyone's business. She needs to worry about her son. Um, yes, and she doesn't know the whole story, but I understand. I understand why she's doing what she's doing. And I also tell you too, Lashanta, she can multitask. She can sit there and talk to her son and worry about her son, but still sit there and talk to Sunny. And you know, I don't think that the two should be exclusive from each other in a sense. That's just my opinion, Lashanta. I don't think that's just your opinion, Ron. I mean, there's yeah, I don't think it's just your opinion. No. Johnson says it's amazing that Tate actually has the money Doug needs to save Holly and Art. Well, yes and no. I mean, like Doug said, he is a trust fund baby. Um, I'm not surprised. I guess it's just more convenient, and also that that does eliminate Doug from actually owning up to what he's done and taking some sort of responsibility. So he doesn't have to walk up to Maggie or Gabby or anything like that. He already could just talk to Tate. So in a sense, it's kind of more of an easier way out. Unfortunately, I get that. Have a good night. Have a good night, Cherry Ice Cream. Thank you for joining. I'm just saying, Lashanta, I do think that she can multitask. She can sit there and answer Rocco's questions, but at the same time, you know, ask Sonny about, selling the pears this way it can get the heat off of Laura's back. Psycho says, I think it works for now, but within 3 years, maybe even less, I feel like it's going to get to a point we may need a new family. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can get that point too. But I think, like I said, for right now, let it let it be their own thing, you know. Because again, that's what makes it unique. Bringing another family, which is again, even yeah, I don't know. I don't see. I don't see them doing that. Then that just, yeah, exactly. That's just another. Yeah, Jonathan, I did. I did. I heard. Came up on my Twitter timeline because I follow Michael Fairman. So thank you, Cherry. I'm so glad you be. I was so glad that you're actually a part. That you're actually a part of it. But that's. And I look forward to seeing the next one. So thank you. Yeah, just going back on the other thing. It's not a question, Ron. You just okay. Okay, this is a question. Justin says, "Do you think? I mean, Ron says, "Do you think that Ari and Holly will ever trust or forgive Doug because he put them in danger over time?" Yes, over time. It's going to take a while. Ron, it's going to take a while for. What's good, Susan? It's going to take a while for them to forgive him, but they forgive characters all the time for worser things. And they're teenagers. They don't necessarily have the same level of holding a grudge that an adult will. What's good, Susan? Always good to see you. LaShanta says Lulu will be mad. Rocco talk to Liesl. Yeah, but the thing is, LaShanta, she's gonna be upset with Rocco. She's going to be mad with Liesl. She's going to be mad at Liesl. She's going to be more mad at Liesl because I mean the problem with Lulu is that Lulu has one version of however she sees people, and that's about it. And she feels that people are incapable of change, even though she used to do some shady shit back in the day. Her cousin Carly used to do some shady shit back in the day, but for some odd reason, if you mention anything positive about Britt, oh my god, like that's why she came at Jason's side with this. And then she sat there and said, "Oh well, oh sorry, let me answer one of your questions at one time." Um, Fire says, "Do you think by early 2026, Bill and Danny are back together?" Because I think so. Um, it's possible. I know that's what the fans would want. I don't know how I feel about that, but I did like their conversation today. I did like their conversation today. No, it's good to see you, Susan. And I hope you're there this weekend as well, Susan, because I got some fun stuff planned for the member stream. So I hope you're there this weekend. Very excited. But yes, just on that note, because there's a point where I don't even fully understand it, but he sat there and said that, like, okay, good, Susan. He sat there and he said that he was like, did I even answer anyone's question? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Um, he sat there and he said that he, he still seeks Vernon's approval. And when Vernon sits there and lashes out at him, it cuts him down and it kind of hurts him because he admires Vernon. And I'm kind of just like, where is this coming from? Like, I mean, I guess on some level it might make sense, but I'm also just like, okay, like, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, he looks at him like he's a father figure, and maybe because maybe he never got the approval from his father, and he feels like he can get it from Vernon or something. I have no idea. Because part of me did sit there and say, like, Yeah, but I'm saying, no, Spider. Laura told Rocco to ask questions. Yeah, like that matters to Lulu. Like I said before, when Jason gave her version of what she saw with Britt, the only thing Lulu said was like, "Well, you're it's." You said, "Well, you doing that conflicts with our story of what we told him of what Britt was like." Well, yeah, Lulu, because there's more than one side to a person. And you're basically sitting there saying that you don't want your son to know anything other than what we tell him. Like, I don't know about you, but that almost kind of seems like brainwashing someone in a sense. You don't want somebody to sit there and tell your son any other version of what this person's like because it will conflict with your own version. I don't know. I don't know about you, but that seems like some real brainwashing shit to me. Like it does. Um, hell is going on with YouTube? But yeah, Ron, I don't think that they will. I don't think that she's going to permanently cut or both of them cut um Doug out of their lives. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about. And that said, who is Daisy's daddy on YNR? And they just said, who is Daisy's daddy on Y? You mean GH? Because I don't think there's a Daisy on. I don't think there's a Daisy on. There's no Daisy on YNR. But if you're talking about GH, then it's Michael. Which I felt like that. I felt like that whole goddamn scene. I felt like that whole scene with Sasha and Jason. I don't know. In some ways, kind of seemed a little pointless. Like it really did. It really did seem kind of pointless. You know, because all the stuff that she's there saying is it's not going to matter, right? Like she's left the show. She's left the show, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't really care. That's the thing. Like people sat there. Anita says Sheila has a crazy daughter named Daisy who married. Oh, oh, okay, yeah, that was probably before I was watching. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sheila has a crazy daughter named Daisy who married Daniel. Yes. Yeah, I have no. I have to look that up. I have to look that up. What's with the beans? I actually tell you, Jonathan. I went to see if the chat was working. But I stopped seeing people's comments and stuff like that. But yeah, okay. Jonathan, who is Daisy's daddy? Who is Daisy's daddy on Why Not? Sheila is Daisy's mother, but who is the father though? Okay. But do you know that though, Jonathan? Bush Jonathan exactly who got mad at Jason because he had a different version of Brit from hers. From theirs. Yeah, exactly. And she okay. And like I said, she doesn't know how to let things go. You know. Even when she first got out the coma. What's good, Tamara? Even when she first got out the coma, she wanted to come right at Brooklyn's throat. And Brooklyn's like, yo, listen, I'm good. Like, I got a lot going on. And it's like, yeah, damn, I didn't actually touch this shit. Yeah, that's what I said to Mary. It's like that's a good. I mean, like Anita says, "Where's Lucy and Faith?" Well, I'm assuming, and Anita is that Faith is back in college. Lucy, they just keep what they're talking about. I know the actress is probably filming like other stuff. I know she was in a movie with Melissa Joan Hart. So she's probably filming, the actress is probably filming a lot of different stuff. So they don't really have her on the show um, as often. But I'm assuming that Faye probably went back to college. So they didn't say, but unfortunately, this is the problem when they don't talk about a character. We have to guess. It's the same thing with RJ, right? Like, where the hell is RJ at? They generally stop talking about RJ on Born and Beautiful. Yeah, but like I said, they don't talk about RJ anymore. He's just MIA. So, I mean, that's like Smith is saying, what happened? What happened to Doug? What happened to Douglas? Hope doesn't talk about Douglas anymore. She'll sit there and talk about Beth like there's no tomorrow, but she doesn't talk about Douglas. She doesn't talk about missing Douglas or anything like that. What happened to that? They talk about Thomas. Is Thomas actually going to be there for this wedding that no one really cares about between Ridge and Taylor? Lashanta says, "I'm sorry, Rocco got hurt, so did Gio. Lulu feels she did nothing wrong, and she said she would not apologize. Yeah, she wouldn't apologize because she felt like she was in the right. But it's funny though. She felt like she was in the right, but Brooklyn is not supposed to feel like she's in the right because technically Brooklyn, if you really think about it, can be looked at in the right as well. I mean, Rocco needed to know about his birth, and Lulu and Dante did nothing but made excuses of they why they didn't sit there and say anything. Kamal Fisher. Okay, Johnson says Daisy's father is a guy named Tom Fisher, an abusive man who was also Kevin's father. It would explain why Kevin at one point was a nut job. I heard that Kevin, played by, well, the actor that plays Leo, was like a huge nut job. Um, I'm going to be honest. I am actually glad they don't show Kevin on Weiner anymore with Chloe because again, they never came across as husband and wife. Okay, Kevin never came across as a husband to Chloe. He came across as the gay best friend, and I don't understand why they allowed that shit to go on as long as they did because it never made sense. Have a good night, Aneta. It was great to have you. I look forward to seeing you in the next stream, which is tomorrow. Danny says, I love Kevin Fisher, a nut job, yes. Yeah. I mean, listen, if they want to sit there and play him as a serial killer or whatever, cool. I can get behind that. I don't understand how Chloe actually married a serial killer, but to be honest, so did so did Sierra. Sierra married a serial killer in a sense. Talking about how Ben is a good man, this, that, and the third. The dude was literally called the necktie killer. And you sit there talking about, oh, he's a good man. He's a good father. Oh yeah, he's a good father. He's just a nut job that you married. But because of his looks, I guess people just got past that shit. But yeah, I'm glad that he's not on Young and Restless anymore. I mean, I don't even like him on Days of Our Lives. Then kill Will, her cousin. I don't even like him on Days of Our Lives, to be honest. I know that people love. I know that some people. I know there's a lot of people that love. They want the humor in these soap operas, and in a sense, Leo brings that humor. But see, their humor is just cringe and it's annoying. Like Bonnie's supposed to be the person that also brings the humor, but Bonnie just comes across as an idiot. Like she literally comes across as a dingbat. So it's like if that's your version of humor, then that's pretty goddamn sad. It's like the bar is just set so damn low. Um, Now Danny says, "I love Leo. Gotta have one funny character at least." Yeah, I guess if you're into Leo's comedy, like I guess for me, I found myself rolling my eyes more than anything else every time Leo spoke, because it's just one of those things where it's like, here's the thing about Leo. Leo's comedy is like either it will land or it won't, right? And you can use me and Danny Bear as an example. Like she says, she loves the character Leo, and she finds him very funny. Me, the jokes don't work, and I find them to be more annoying. And it reminds me of the show called Lucifer. Lucifer is a show where it's either you're gonna love it and love the character, or the character is gonna be insufferable, and you're gonna generally hate it. Lashanta says, "How do you watch Courtney Wanda skits?" No, I don't know who that is, but I will look it up though. Why is it taking like forever? Jesus Christ. Johnson says, "It's a soap opera. If a soap opera wants a well-balanced character with comedic timing, they need a character like Styles from Teen Wolf." Yes, if you remember Teen Wolves, you know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, but see the thing, this is the thing though, Jonathan. I mean, I guess I don't know how many people actually root for Leo, right? I feel like if you can root for the character, then you can find them to be humorous and funny and fun to watch. I often don't find myself rooting for Leo. I mean, I don't want him to get screwed over, but I've never been one of those people that's been like, "Oh, I love Leo. I think he's a great character." And now it sounds kind of weird because I'm talking about a TV show, but I always rooted for Lucifer on the show. And I think that was part of his appeal when he can be funny and charming. Leo doesn't have that, at least for me. Uh, Same thing with Bonnie. I mean, besides the fact, for me personally, I find Bonnie nice to look at, but other than that, it doesn't really do much for me. You know? But and that's the thing, Danny, right? Like comedy is like art; it's very subjective, right? And I think that's what makes it so fun when we sit there and look at that stuff, or even like do our channels. Danny says, I need them to bring back Demetrius so him and Leo can get Demetrius' money away from Gwen. Yeah, Gwen and her goddamn sob story. And that's the thing. Somebody said in my review that they were happy that Gwen came back. All Gwen came back was sit there and be to make the same spiteful, mean spirited, crybaby about her past and her sob story that she keeps there telling, and the excuses that she keeps making for being the same shitty person that she was when she left. That's my thing about Gwen. So when people was talking about, oh, I'm so excited that Gwen is back, and you see her back, it's like there was no character progression whatsoever. Yeah, okay, fine. Listen, I get it. The Hortons didn't treat you right. But girl, you came in there on some revenge shit without even trying to understand Jack's side of things. You did some really messed up things to like Abby and the family and stuff. So of course they would sit there and accept you afterwards. Like, are you dumb? Like, that's correct, LaShawn. Yes, Lanikia. Okay, yes, Lanikia is actually back. She's been back for a little bit now. Um, and she's doing reviews on a lot of different stuff. When she left, before she left, it was just Days of Our Lives. Now she's doing it in this very interesting way where she's combining the reviews. So like in one review it's like 50 something minutes, and she does like four reviews. I think the only one that she's not really doing is Days of Our Lives, which is really odd because like that was the one that she actually had the most views from. Danny says Gwen left out that she was pretty shitty to everyone, and that's why they don't like her. Exactly. And it just shows like, girl, you left being petty and vindictive. You come back and you still, you're the queen of unaccountability. And that's why JJ. This is why I like the line that JJ said after she, told her sob story for the 18,000th time. Get over it. Yes, you had a shitty childhood. We get that part. But like EJ said, EJ is like morally bankrupt. But he was like, even he sat there and said that there's two sides to everything. And the sad thing is, you heard Jack's side. You heard Jack's side, and you heard how he didn't know. And yes, okay, fine. Mom came to the door, got turned away by the grandmother, which was Laura. But Jack didn't know. The family didn't know about you. And you knew that part. And you come back to town and you tell JJ the story about how you had a bad upbringing because of what happened to your mom and how she got pushed to the side. You're telling this story like you don't know the other side of it. That's why I rolled my fucking eyes because I'm like, girl, we done been through this shit, but you still acting like you don't know the other side of the story. Yeah, Sean. Colbert has been canceled. Yeah. Um, and it sucks. I'm not surprised. I don't know. I liked him personally, but like, I don't know. I mean, the thing is with these late night shows, Sean. Some of them have longevity, some of them don't. Leno, um, Letterman Hell, even Carson Daly, surprisingly. I don't know how he stayed on as long as he did. But who's the other talk show people? Too political. Yeah, that was kind of a strength, though, in a sense, Sean. Like, I mean, listen, I don't get into political stuff, but like that was kind of a strength. Um, like Jon Stewart, that's his strength. Fallon, Fallon's good, yes. Jimmy Fallon and who's the guy on ABC? There's Jimmy Fallon, and then there's Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel, yes, they're both good, and they have that longevity. Rashanta says, "Where's Sloan at? Why is EJ setting Chanel up?" You know, Dan. Okay, the reason why he's setting up Chanel because Chanel was acting very nasty and disrespectful to EJ. She was acting like a little goddamn kid, and she was basically sitting there saying like, "Hey, listen, your son is going to pick me over you because I'm his wife." Well, I guess that won't really matter if your ass is in jail. So, like, you want to act bratty? You want to sit there and walk in this man's house with a level of disrespect and bitchiness? Okay, cool. His ass is going to sit there and teach you something. You want to sit there and F with EJ and think there's going to be no consequences? Baby girl, you are in for a rude awakening. And so I'm personally happy that EJ is going to burn Chanel's life to the goddamn ground. Then he says Seth Meyer is on after Fowler. Sometimes I gotta sit there and wonder. I'm assuming that these people must DVR the stuff, right? Fallon, even Jimmy Kimmel was like 11:30. Which okay, listen, I like those talk shows and stuff like that. Also, depending on who they get, that shit is hella late. Like I don't know about y'all, but like I mean, most people have to work early in the morning. So like when these people be on like super late, I'm like, bro, who the fuck is watching these shows? DVR numbers do count though. So there's they're on past my bed. They're on past most. Okay, Sean, they're on past most people's bedtimes that have work in the morning. So I'm assuming that those numbers come from DVRs. Danny says EJ is messing up things with him and Johnny. In the long run, yes. And it kind of sucks though too. Like if because at that point, all them making up. Then he says, I can usually stay out to watch Fallon. I fall asleep sometimes after yeah, because goddamn 12:30 at night. I mean, listen, I can watch Fallon or I can watch Kimmel. I think that they're both funny. Oh, Danny Bear. Who is that chick that nobody liked? Have a good night, Sean. Who was that chick that nobody liked? I know, Jonathan. It's gonna be interesting. The shot that says in the end, who will last? However, AJ will lose his son. Yeah, that's true. But I'm still gonna enjoy him burning her life to the ground. Okay, there was a chick that used to I think she was biracial. No, she was biracial, but she was also bisexual. And she used to sit there and tell these jokes that were well, one, they were cringy. They were also very controversial. She didn't last long, and actually started on YouTube. I had to find her. I had to fucking find her. But I just remember her being on for like maybe about a year or so, and she would just say the most awful shit. Like, and I felt like she would sit there and say it like, well, she can get away with it because she was LGBT and because she was sit there and biracial. Ah, This is why I rock with Jonathan. Jesus fucking Christ. I swear I feel like this man is showing off. But yes. God damn. Seriously, give it up for Jonathan right there, because that, yes, her. That's just his polite way of saying that he was showing off. But yes, she was awful. Holy shit, she was bad. The sad thing is that, again, she started off on YouTube. So, like, as a YouTuber, I would want to sit there and root for her. Like, okay, cool, you did YouTube, you got your own show and everything. And the first time you get your own show, you, she replaced Carson Daly. Okay. And the first time you get your show, your own show, you act like the most biggest asshole. I forgot about her. No, watch at your own risk. I'll tell you that much. Watch at your own risk. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of hers. I felt like there was things that she said that went too far. I felt like if other people would sit there and say it, um, I felt like it would have been worse for consequences. I felt like she took advantage of the fact that she was LGBT and she was biracial to say the things that she said. Island, I never liked her. She's too much. Yeah, so yeah, I only heard of her. Yeah, I like Craig Ferguson. So I think, yeah, he got canceled. Um, you were just talking about Stephen Colbert got canceled, which in my opinion, again, I think that he was funnier than Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's funny, but and Oliver, what's his name? Oliver Bryan. Was that his name? Oliver, the guy on HBO. Jonathan, you know who I'm talking about. He was a talk show. I think he still is a talk show on John Oliver. Oh, I remember such. Okay, that's a song. John Oliver is another one I like. Island says British talk shows are much better, to be honest. Conan was pretty good. Okay, who's that British? Okay, who's that British talk show guy that you're talking about? I've seen him. I don't remember his name. Who's the British talk show guy that's like really popular? He's comedy and stuff like that? He gets a lot of different guests on there. I'm literally waiting for the answer. I know there's one. There we go. Graham Norton. Damn, Jonathan, I was waiting for that answer. Yes, Graham Norton. Wow, that was good. Actually impressed. I'm assuming that Jonathan was doing something else. That's the reason why he answered the question. But yes. All right. I'm gonna end the stream here. I gotta wake up at 3:45 in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here and try to get some rest. Have an early day tomorrow, but everything goes well. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. He's a great interviewer. Plus, guests can swear on the show, and they're free to tell stories. Yeah, the British stuff are a lot more lenient than the stuff that we have out here, and they're a lot more. They they can go there and stuff. Yes, have a good night, Tamara. Yes, I'm gonna end the stream here. I do want to thank everyone for joining though. Hell of a lot of fun. Definitely come back tomorrow. If you're not a member, become a member. Okay? Has some fun stuff going on this weekend that I want people to sit there and be a part of. Um, so yeah, come through and become a member. Have some great fun. Yeah, so have a good night, Tamara. Have a good night, Island. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Danny Bear. Also subscribe to Danny Bear's channel if you're not subscribed to her. She also does she also does live streams and some videos and stuff like that. So check her channel out. And yeah, I guess Jonathan really is busy. All right, everyone. I will see y'all at the next stream. Laters.